of all of our guests, you're probably the most seasoned when it comes to the next question.
Oh, that's right.
I need you to rank your New England states in order. This, I genuinely believe, is going to be the best answer of all we've had, because this individual, ladies and gentlemen, has actual experience in each state.
Now, am I ranking it based on a certain category or just overall?
Overall. Bet like states.
I did a video a long time ago ranking the hiking in each of the New England states, and I forget the order I put them in, but I think I can. I'm thinking overall New England states. Number one, I'd probably say Vermont. Okay. Really like Vermont.
That's what I mean. If you've done the Vermont thing and you get it,
yeah,
it usually ends up number one.
Yeah.
But most people don't,
I've shifted in the past from coastal New England to more like mountainous. I spend more of my time like on a weekend traveling north rather than south. So right now I'd say Vermont. Have you ever spent time in like a small town in Vermont?
Never. The only place that I ever went was, oh gosh, it's not the Flume George, because that's New Hampshire.
Yeah,
but
it Quechee Gorge.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
that's the only place in New Vermont that I've ever actually been.
It's a really cool spot. Yeah, there's
but it's like barely over the border.
If you go a little deeper into Vermont, you'll come across some sick towns, and like you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere, but it's like so quaint and so quiet, and like there are no chains really in like the heart of Vermont. I feel like you go to certain spots you can find them, but like you drive through the roads of Vermont, it's just like unparalleled in my opinion.
Okay.
So I'd put Vermont one. I feel like I'm leaning more towards the hiking. Like I'm trying to
however you want to categorize it. That's like, however.
Yeah, even with the hiking, you still have more say, because a lot of people say the same thing. Like, I've never really been to Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire, so I'll put those like 4, 5, and 6, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm the same way. I haven't been up there enough to have an actual opinion.
Yeah. I'd say in terms of second place, I'd probably say New Hampshire.
Okay. That was my number one. So, okay.
Really like New Hampshire. I've spent most of my like hiking time in New Hampshire. I've done like most of the 4,000 footers there. Worked there so many summers. So I feel like a lot of my heart's in New Hampshire. Next, I'd have to say Rhode Island.
Wow.
Rhode Island.
Top 3. Okay.
But I'm going to be honest with you here. I haven't really, other than coming to Providence for like a concert in this podcast, I haven't come back to Rhode Island in a long, long time.
Yeah, we're going to cut that.
Yeah. But I feel like a lot of my like past existed here.
Yeah.
So in college, like had such a fun time. Newport is one of my favorite places. The beaches in Rhode Island are really cool.
Sounds to me like you're avoiding an ex-girlfriend. You're like, I don't really come here because Beth is still around.
No. It was, I think it's just because when I go home to Connecticut, I take the Mass Pike to 395.
Right.
Just avoid
us. I get it.
Yeah,
I got you.
No, I'm giving you third place. I'm giving you third place.
So if we're in third place, then have you had 3 all the way? Oneyville?
Are we talking roast beef?
No, we're talking
wieners, baby.
Oh, you're taking
three-way?
He's like, I had 3 ways at Rogers. No, 3 all the way is like Oneyville hot wieners. We ask everyone this.
You're speaking a different language. I don't know what that is.
That's a Providence thing. Okay, so all right, so you didn't really get
Roger Williams is out there far enough where if like
he got the East Bay Rhode Island experience.
I guess we were on an island over in
you are the East Bay. It's like a different type of living on
different
that side
breed
of
out there.
Rhode Island.
Like the 95 corridor through. I feel like I didn't really frequent that a lot.
Yeah,
that's fair.
But I spent a lot of time like going out to bars in Providence, Bristol area, and then Newport. I'd say. Based on those, I'll put it third place.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Fourth, it's between Maine, Mass, and Connecticut, huh? I'm going to go Massachusetts.
Wow, I thought for sure you were going to say Maine.
Yeah?
I'm surprised.
Maine is, I do really love Maine in terms of hiking, so I'm going to put that 5th, and then Connecticut last.
We have another, so there you have it, folks.
Hometown.
It's not me. Okay, we have a Connecticut raised individual who put it last.
I feel like I don't need to pledge allegiance to Connecticut, you know? Like I grew up there. It provided for me when it needed to, but I'm like having gone to all the other New England states, I'm like they have so much more to offer in my opinion.
So why Maine 5th? So why Mass over Maine?
I feel like Maine, I just don't you really have to go out of your way to get up there. It's beautiful. I've spent a lot of time in Maine hiking.
Yeah.
Coast is incredible. Like, don't get me wrong. Love it. Like, I would go up there. I just feel like Acadia is the closest national park.
It's insane.
It's the closest national park to me. I've never been.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Never been.
Neither have I. Yeah. I'm saying it like, oh, wow. I've been, but I haven't. But I just like, I'm familiar with it.
I've only gone to these two specifically.
Right. So I feel like I have a lot more to explore in Maine. And so I'm going to leave it towards the bottom of the list just for now. That could change. The list is fluid, right?
Right, of course.
This could change over time.
100%.
When we have you back on, we can redo the list.
Perfect. As it stands, Maine 5th, Connecticut 6th. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, So then our next question would be ranking your New England sports.
Okay.
Since that's how a lot of us identify around here is with our sports. So how would you rank them? And it could be your favorites. Okay. It could be how you perform. Like
Does it have to be a professional sport?
No, be whatever you want. I mean, as long as they're a New England team.
UConn basketball, number 1.
There you go.
That's my biggest.
There you go.
Might be a hot take,
country, man.
It is basketball
UConn
country.
is basketball HQ.
Huskies don't mess around, man. A lot of good teams, a lot of good players come out of there.
Men and women, you really can't.
I have
Ben Gordon, Omar Okafor. Remember those guys?
Emeka,
yeah. Whoops. What did I say, Omar? Whoops. Anyways,
no, it's I might sound like a bandwagon, but I started intensely watching UConn 2014 in my freshman dorm. At the start of March Madness, so the start of the tournament, they won it that year.
Yep.
I watched it on like a 18-inch TV. I felt like Michael Scott in his apartment with my freshman roommate. With my freshman roommate, we watched every game, and they went on and won the championship that year. I was hooked. My brother's been a big fan for like a little bit longer than I have. He's got season tickets. And so I've watched ever since 2014, like really intently. We used to watch like every once in a while because my mom went to UConn.
Oh, okay.
So she kind of got us into it when we were younger, but I wasn't really like into it. Started watching in college, and then I was able to go to the Final Four the past 2 years and like see them win the championship both of those years.
So awesome.
And so I'm like, you can't beat it. I'm like,
that's unreal.
In terms of college basketball. Yeah, we went to Houston, then Phoenix last year. Or this year, I would say. And so I'm psyched for the season to start. That's my number 1. Next up, I would probably say the Celtics.
All right.
Like the Celtics. Bruins next.
Shout out to Bees.
Yeah. And then.
It's a very nice hat.
There you go. And Pats, I'd say after that. And then we're doing Revolution.
Yeah, I always include the Revs.
Yeah, Revs
and recently I've been trying to get a little more clout, a little more emphasis on the New England Free Jacks.
Oh yeah,
rugby team. They won the championship this year.
Where do they play?
Great question. Great question. I don't even know. Want to Google that for us? I've been following them for a little bit. They sent me a message before like, hey, we'd love to have you out for a game, and I was like, yeah, sure, but like honestly, I didn't follow up, which is my own horrible due diligence. But yeah, they just won the championship this year. I think they play probably at like a college.
Isn't
I would
the
imagine.
Old Paul Sox?
No,
the new stadium. Did they build a new one?
No, Rhode Island FC is building their own stadium.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of.
Rhode Island Football Club.
Okay,
maybe they play at Brown, something like that.
Yeah. No, they play in Mass.
No,
Massachusetts Veterans Memorial Stadium.
Okay, cool.
Where's that?
All right.
Guess we'll find out. Mass Vets.
We're putting them to work right now.
Yeah.
All these.
We got to.
I was gonna say
Quincy.
It's in Quincy.
Oh, all right.
Well, you're from Somerville. You're not going to go to Quincy.
Is Quincy south?
Yes.
Boston? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's south from where you're at. Okay. But yes, it is south in general from Boston.
I love maps, but like you name a town in Massachusetts, I have no clue.
There are so many towns in Massachusetts, though. Just in the Eastern Corridor alone is absurd.
Oh, yeah.
And then Rhode Island, we got, 47, 48 towns.
Too many.
We've got like 47 people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It makes no sense. Actually, we have more people in Rhode Island than Vermont does, population-wise.
Yeah,
Vermont has the
least. I
least.
guess that makes sense.
I think
right?
Vermont also has one of the lowest populations in all of it.
Because all they have is Burlington, Montpelier. Montpelier is like small.
Right. There's not much up there.
Yeah,
they do a good job at staying and keeping themselves a secret.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's how they like it.
Back to sports.
Yes,
I don't really know rugby that well.
Like, yeah, me neither. I'm just they're a pro New England team, and I'm just like trying to give them a little bit of clout.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put me in the stands like I might as well be blindfolded. I don't know what's going on.
That's how I feel at their soccer games for like the Revs, but
Yeah.
I'm there to cheer them on. So
Yeah.
anything
Absolutely.
for about
I'm
it.
willing to learn. Yeah.
Put the ball in the net. That's what you want to watch for.
In rugby?
Oh no, that's completely different. You actually got to take the ball and you touch it.
Is that
If
it?
you just go past the, this is not how you're supposed to say it, but the goal line where the end zone is, you got to touch it on the ground, and it's a try.
Try. I've heard that.
Yep.
I have a buddy who
If
played
you don't
in college.
touch it on the ground, does not count. Someone can scoop it up and run it back.
Absolutely no clue.
And
Absolutely no clue.
think of controlled violence. That's what rugby is.
Yeah, they're always in a pile for some reason.
Honestly, I just really like when the people who are like Samoan descent and they do
The haka.
The hakas.
Have you seen the quads on these guys?
Yeah. The
My whole-
size of
it's
the
my whole
couch you're
body.
sitting on.
Freight trains.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I would never get in front of that.
No.